Hola, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Wade Wilson, aka your friendly neighborhood Deadpool, your favorite product of Weapon X, and I'm filling in for John momentarily as we talk about the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. First of all, we've heard that former Governor Jim McGreevey is going to be running for mayor in Jersey City in 2025. He filed his campaign paperwork yesterday, and we heard just this morning, as a matter of fact, that he will be doing a campaign announcement on November 9th. That's next Thursday, 8 days from today. So we're going to tell you about that. Speaking of 2025, we heard about what's going on with the New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission, and Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day has a boatload of money right now. So we're going to tell you how that's looking as well as the other candidates. Also in Jersey City, there's a new rule that if you have $300 in outstanding parking tickets, they're actually going to do some work on your car, meaning probably a boot or maybe even a tow. So we're going to talk about what all that means. And, also we're going to talk about a case out of Bayonne where a former employee is going on nearly 4 years suing the city for hostile work environment. The city actually won a motion. So we're going to tell you what that means, when the discovery deadline is, when the trial date is, all that and a whole lot more after this word from our sponsors.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View, live and uncut, John Arhitis. Hopefully we have a lot of Marvel fans out there. You guys that have been watching for years know that I love Halloween. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to don the costume. Now with that, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Jersey City. Probably the biggest story here, and probably a contender, I guess, statewide, is former Governor James McGreevey running for Jersey City mayor. So as expected, he filed his D1 with the New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission, and essentially that's just a preliminary piece of paper that says that you're going to run for office, and it says Jim McGreevey for mayor. It's quite clear that he's going to go through with this, at least for now. And we actually heard that this morning, that he's already set a day, a place, and a time for his campaign kickoff, so we'll get to that in a moment. The Jack and Roddy McGreevey Civic Association, named after his parents, was launched in September, and then at the end of that month, he sent a letter to homeowners that said he was considering another bid for office. So, we talked about that here, if you guys recall. And McGreevey, obviously no stranger to politics. He's a former state assemblyman, state senator, and a former Woodbridge mayor, in addition to being the former governor of the state of New Jersey. As everybody knows, he resigned in August 2004 with his infamous I'm a gay American speech. And he hasn't been involved in electoral politics, at least not directly, ever since then. But here he is. It's going to be 2 decades later by the time this race rolls around, and he's going to be paving the comeback trail. And one of his biggest supporters is State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack. So therefore, it should come as no surprise to you folks that he lists his treasurer as Angelo Caliente. He's the payroll supervisor for the Union City Board of Education and the treasurer for the Brian Stack Civic Association. So no secret about the ties there. And also, we've talked about that 9 of the 12 Hudson County mayors have already gave de facto endorsements for McGreevey, the only holdouts being Hoboken Mayor Robbie Bala, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop, and Kearney Acting Mayor Peter Santana. Of course, Fulop and McGreevey haven't been on the same political page in years, ever since McGreevey got fired from the Jersey City Employment and Training Program in January 2019. While that was a volunteer board, fortunately JCEP no longer exists, it was a board appointed by the mayor. So, you know, that's an interesting turn of events, and certainly this is something to watch. And also, nearly forgot that, yes, when I looked at that email blast this morning, he said his campaign kickoff's El Sabor del Cafe restaurant on Thursday, November 9th. He said, in part, it is a day when we will begin to bring the change we need to Jersey City to work for greater accountability, reliable services, clean and safe streets, and control property taxes for working families. As my friend Mayor Stack has set a visible, tangible standard of excellence in Union City, so too we must work harder and smarter for the residents and community of our Jersey City. Now, in my opinion, directly related, you could see that yesterday, Monday I did a story based on cash on hand and ELEC reports out of the mayoral hopefuls in Jersey City. And one of those, as I mentioned at the top of the program, is Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day. And he is boasting a pretty big cash on hand, $450,312.85 to be exact. And he's ahead by a wide margin, which is expected. I mean, you know, he's been in office now for, say, pretty close to 40 years, and he's been in this commissioner role for the majority of that time. And, you know, he's had a good reputation there on the west side of his district, the 2nd District, and he has a great relationship with the labor unions in Hudson County and beyond. So the fact that he has that much money isn't surprising, but when you consider that McGreevey opened his account 24 hours after this, and then when we look at the other potential candidates, right now the 2 most common names we hear is Council President Joyce Waterman and Wardy Councilman James Solomon. Now, in the Council President's case, she has $9,893.18 cash on hand, while Solomon has $41,865.07 cash on hand. So obviously big discrepancies, but these 2 haven't made any formal announcements yet. But we did see Waterman last week. She did do this email blast that was soliciting donations, and we also saw that there was an invitation for an event at the League, and that was a Washington, D.C. based PAC. They don't have any filings yet, so we're not going to talk too much about that until they do. But obviously we have our eyes on those 2. And don't forget, this thing is over 2 years away, and that's going to be on 2025 November. So this is going to be a long road, and yeah, we're going to have to just basically buckle up here. I mean, a 2-year campaign is pretty much unheard of, but that's exactly what we're having here. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. Now, also in Jersey City, what we're going to do is talk about what they're doing with parking enforcement. Now, as I mentioned, what it is in part is anyone with $300 or more in outstanding parking fines will have their car booted, and, you know, obviously that could lead to tows later. And we heard from the mayor, and that's Stephen Fulop, of course, candidate for governor. He said parking tickets are never favorable, but public safety is paramount. That is why we are increasing our efforts to target drivers who flout the law and put others at risk. By the same token, we heard what residents had to say about unauthorized and abandoned cars, hogging parking spots, and interfering with adequate street cleaning. And so we are making this quality of life concern a priority as well. So now, if you look, they said actually at the beginning of October what they did, when they started the enforcement, over 100 vehicles with $150,000 in accumulated unpaid violations have been booted and resolved, according to the city of Jersey City. Now, 3 specific parking violations the city said they will be enforcing are parking within 25 feet from crosswalks, parking within 10 feet of fire hydrants, and parking within 50 feet from a stop sign. So be wary of that, Jersey City residents. Obviously, parking is not easy. So with that, we're going to take a break. But before we do, want to let you guys know today I'm joined with Hoboken 2nd Ward Council candidate Marla Decker. So we're going to sit down with her for a couple segments right after this break.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-27.
Self-storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Hudson County View Live Uncut, John Arhitis, and today, as I just mentioned, I'm joined with Hoboken 2nd Ward Council candidate Marla Decker. Marla, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for being a good sport. Love
No
Halloween. So, now, you probably watched my interview last week when the councilwoman was sitting right where you're sitting, and we had an extended dialogue, I think, about Union Dry Dock, and she said on this specific topic, you've been misleading and or misinforming intentionally. And, she laid her case on why this lease is not ironclad and is flimsy, essentially. So, obviously, I'd like to hear your point of view and your take on this.
I think it's the opposite. I think that she's been misleading a bit about the legal remedies that the city has. Big picture, the goal of the effort with Union Dry Dock has always been for the city to acquire the property, right? And we were in the process of eminent domain proceedings to result in the city owning the property. And now the city owns the property, which is, to me, a huge accomplishment that I'm not sure why Councilman Fisher is not willing to admit is progress. In terms of the lease, I am an attorney. I analyze contracts and litigation risk as a profession. So I think that I'm pretty well informed about how to read that contract. There are provisions in there that specify some limitations on what New York Waterway can do there. It's very clear that the essential term of the contract is that the end of the lease is in 3 years and only to be extended to 5 if New York Waterway has not yet completed its renovation of Weehawken, which I think is a part of the story that's not being told loudly enough by Councilwoman Fisher, which is that, the Weehawken site is something that New York Waterway owns and has been operating on for 30 years. And their plan is, as part of this process, is to renovate that site and return there or, return the boats that they're going to store from Hoboken, because they're still going to be operating in some major respects in Weehawken, including that's continuing to be their major fuel site.
Yeah.
That's where they go back to. So I keep having people say, well, they're not going to leave because they're going to have nowhere to go, and they're not going to shut down a major waterway or a major transportation system in the area. But it's not a binary choice between Hoboken and not operating, right? They have
Sure.
the property in Weehawken, which they own versus the one they don't. So, of course there's existential risk that things change, and we've already had the fight about whether or not the governor is going to use eminent domain, or that the state would use eminent domain to take property in Hoboken, and
Yeah,
we've
sure
won
have.
that fight. So I'm not sure why the narrative is we've now put ourselves in a worse position with respect to an eminent domain acquisition by the state, when there's been this ongoing discussion between the powers that be for the last 6 years, 5 years.
What do you think about her point of view? And others have shared this as well, that number one, that the Weehawken Mayor Turner doesn't want this and will take steps to get rid of it. And number two, that NJ Transit, you could just come in on a whim and just say, hey, we're taking it back.
To your second point, that is the risk that we faced, and we fought that fight. I mean, I was there when we went to New Jersey Transit's offices back in 2018 to say, no, we don't want you to do this. And I think the public and private pressure that was put on New Jersey Transit and the governor have been successful, that they, are no longer looking to do that to the Hoboken site. And I think the confidence that, we have is evidenced by the fact that there's been $1 million put into the planning of Maritime Park. Mayor Turner is behind. He may institute a fight. I mean, he's saying he will, but he's not filed anything, right? I mean, Hoboken is well ahead in terms of the leverage, right? We now own the property versus in Weehawken, they own the property. New York Waterway owns the property, and there's no eminent domain action by the mayor of Weehawken. So I think that puts us in a better position. I think I'm not saying that there's zero risk that there won't be a regional political issue.
But there'd be a risk no matter what.
But there's a risk that we've now improved our position on because we firmly own the property, and we have a term in the lease that says if they don't leave by the time it's gone, we have a pending court case and we can go there and get a warrant to evict them. So that to me is a better position than we've been in than an eminent domain action that wasn't resolved yet.
So as
Where
a
where New York Waterway was the owner of the property
Right.
in Hoboken.
Okay, so as the council rep, what could you do to help navigate this process, whether it's 3 years or 5 years down the road?
I think one, it's the short term is to make sure that the community impact is as minimal as it can be, and that's holding New York Waterway accountable for its promises in terms of how it's going to operate there, what a good neighbor it's going to be, listening to feedback from the community, like all having a mechanism of communication that's two-way, both in terms of, hey, what are they doing on the site today? It looks like they're doing something different. Hey, let's get word out to what that is. Why do they have a barge there or something like that? Or getting community feedback to them. Hey, you guys you're too loud. There's too much garbage. There's traffic problem, or, people are parking on Sinatra, whatever it may be. I'm just hypothesizing, but
Sure.
making sure that those issues don't impact the quality of life of one of our most, treasured assets in Hoboken, which is our public waterfront.
Got it. Nearly perfect timing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Waterfront community on the Hudson River offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Live Uncut, John Arhitis, and I'm still here with Hoboken Second Ward Council candidate Marla Decker. So Marla, looking at your campaign, obviously moderated the one debate, and looking at some of the mail, a theme that has been constant is that you think that this current incumbent has been very combative with the administration and has actually cost the administrative in a few different situations. So could you just elaborate on why you feel that way? Because at the regular council meeting, right, you probably have anywhere from 30 to 50 agenda items. Probably 95% of the time the council votes yes. Out of the average meeting, they'll probably fight 1, 2, 3 things. So why do you feel this way?
Just sort of a pattern of watching when bigger issues come up that the public gets involved in and then the mayor gets behind. I feel like the current council person is likely to deny the mayor a win, if you will, if it's something that he's in favor of, and she likes to take the opposite position. And I think that has utility. I don't intend to be a rubber stamp, as people have used that phrase. But I think you should try to work things out and have compromises and have mutual successes. And that seems to be lacking. I know they don't really have an ongoing dialogue between the administration and the current council person. And, everybody can form a view as to why that is and who's to blame. And I'm not here to do that. But I think that at the end of the day, who that hurts is the second ward. Because there are some things as a council person you can't do. You
Right.
need the administration to do. And that relationship, having someone who's the administration trusting you, trusting your judgment, trusting what you think the priorities should be for your ward, trusting that resources should be done or spent here, like those are things that I think you earn through good relationships, or accomplish is probably a better word, through good relationships and consensus building and not adversarial.
Point taken. Now, you mentioned that you won't be a rubber stamp. Obviously, that's been the accusation thrown by the candidates running with the mayor's blessing, endorsement. Now, could you think of 1 or 2 initiatives that you either don't agree with in the second ward or that you think need some fine tuning that you would like to have an ongoing dialogue and, correct, fix, however you want to look at that?
To the rubber stamp point, I just want to put it this way. I did not put in all of this work and put what is going to be a lot of effort to then just have my voice be an echo. I don't know. I just think that's a silly accusation in a lot of ways.
That would stand to reason, yes.
But what don't I agree with the administration that they've done? I think that, on rats, they've been completely reactive and not proactive. And I still see, okay, there's a spot here, there's a spot here. Just taking my block of 15th Street alone, you go city property, which has a lot of rats running through it. You've got my condos property that we've just really been aggressive about getting rid of our borough, but then the rats moved next door to, which is Cove, which is a different property manager, to T, back to city. So like even in a block, you have these mix of people who need to be responsible, and the cohesiveness is just not there. And I think we need to be more proactive about it. So I don't agree with that. I think this, in our ward specifically, I think the city has been very hasn't creatively solved for, if you will, the problem along the waterfront in the summer. I have a lot of people have expressed concern to me about, you know, the waterfront walkway between like 15th and 12th or 11th, which is, you know, there's e-bikes on the sidewalk, there's people who are drinking at night, people who are littering, people who are just doing loud noises in the motorcycle runs. And I understand that there are reasons why the city hasn't been able to address them, but I think there are solutions, and I think our councilperson too should take some criticism for not addressing what has been an ongoing problem. One of the things I'm advocating for is a code enforcement officer, perhaps hopefully funded by some of the businesses that operate down there, to address some of the smaller, you know, non-felony issues that our police force is not down there to address, like, you know, what I just described as some
Right.
issues that go on during the summer.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to see. I mean, let's see if that comes to fruition. But on the last point, now, you know that there was this proposal for the parklets, you know, this basically, the ones existing would be grandfathered in, the would be no future parklets until further notice, and the street areas would still be allowed. Obviously, the council passed 5-4, the mayor vetoed, and now there's some dueling proposals up tonight. So where do you fall on all this?
You know, I'm sensitive to both sides. You know, I think the parklets earn something like $600,000 a year for the city, whereas just restaurant business in general doesn't, right? So I would like to see a way to make them work. I think, you know, they were, like I said, a little bit behind in making sure that they're clean and that the enforcement is there. I mean, it's not really like a question mark as to like whether a parklet has a rat problem or not, right? Like, you can see there's either evidence of it or there's not. And if there's evidence of it, then we need to address it 100%. So I think that, you know, equating, you know, there's sort of an effect of the parklets that's causing the rats, like, that's invisible is not really true, right? It's visible or not.
So the proposal that was vetoed, would you have voted yes or no?
I probably would have voted no because of the let this cycle of making sure that the parklets, you know, this enforcement cycle take place. I'm sensitive to the parklets as well because of the concept that although it's taking up a parking space, if you think about it, a parking space is a monopoly of like public space for 6-5 hours,
Sure.
whatever. But a parklet is a use of a public space for many people over many hours. So there is an
True.
advantage of that. And but I do think that maybe we should look at the parklets kind of coming down periodically, especially over the winter when they're not being used, in order to get the street cleaned and all of that. But, you know, a lot of people really love them, you know, people with kids who want to roll their strollers up and have room, people with dogs, people who come to town and want to enjoy our nice weather. We have such a narrow season of great weather that I think they're important for us to try to make work. And I don't think that the like, okay, no future ones really solves anything. You know, I think we have to take it by proposal, does that make sense? As opposed to sort of a weird compromise that I don't think meets the objectives of like rat abatement and equitable use of the space.
Very good. Marla, thanks so much for coming in and joining me.
Thank
A pleasure.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're going to be right back with our final segment.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View, live and uncut, John Arhitis. So a few more items before we let you go. Now, New Jersey Transit police officers, 3 to be exact, were credited for subduing an axe-wielding man, eventually deploying pepper spray at Hoboken Terminal last week. So those officers that we're talking about are Brian Rhea, Joseph Ragazzo, and Randy Vargas, all pictured. And let's just tell you what happened here. So on Wednesday, October 25th, those officers were on patrol at the Hoboken Terminal, and we heard about this on social media. Specifically, I saw it on Facebook, but I think it was on Twitter too. The officers were in the main concourse when they heard calls for help from the main waiting room. They entered the waiting room and observed a suspect wielding a large camping-style axe, obviously not something you see every day, even by Hudson standards. The suspect had the axe in hand and was aggressively advancing towards a fleeing man. And to protect the fleeing man, the officers positioned themselves between him and the armed suspect, and he did not comply with the initial request to drop the axe. Now, Rhea created distance and deployed pepper spray in an attempt to de-escalate the situation, and after additional coordinated efforts, the suspect was apprehended and the axe was recovered. We did not get any information about the individual who was arrested at this time. But we did hear from the department. They said these officers acted without pause to protect the fleeing man and every commuter in the waiting room. Their actions exemplify our New Jersey Transit Police Department core values: honor, commitment, integrity, and courage. So that's certainly a nice work by those gentlemen. No injuries reported. With that, let's talk a little bit about this settlement out of the Weehawken Board of Education. It's actually a bit old. This was approved in May, $700,000. But talking about not exactly recent, the allegations are from a 1979 sexual assault. The plaintiff was 14 years old, excuse me, an 8th grade student
at Woodrow Wilson Junior High School when he was allegedly sexually abused by his assigned art teacher, Janice Tepe. And the abuse did not cease until in or about October of 1979. So this lawsuit was filed back in September 2020. It's been a while, and it was approved on May 23rd. $500,000 was to be paid within 30 days of the agreement being finalized, the remaining $200,000 by July 15th, 2024. So this is an unusual one, and of course, when you're thinking about the statute of limitations, you're able to proceed anonymously under state statute, and if this happened, doesn't matter, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, you could still file a claim, and that's exactly what happened here. The plaintiff, who was anonymous, is now 58 years old and living in California. So finally, talking a little bit more about Hudson County Superior Court, we have this case with the city of Bayonne and Sincere Ross. This has been since December 2019. They're still going back and forth. Ross, through her counsel, wanted the depositions to be expedited and essentially get a ruling on the spot, call for summary judgment. Not successful. There's going to be discovery with a November 30th deadline. And as it stands today, the trial date will be set for April 22nd, 2024. If you guys happen to forget, Ross did this back in, has been doing this for, again, nearly 4 years. And she claims that she worked in a sexually charged, hostile work environment and a culture of sex within the workplace. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let you go. We'll catch you next week to do some post-election results. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.